Everything you thought you knew about your life will be totally changed as a consequence of what happens in the following few minutes. Right now, you are on the verge of a discovery that will rock the foundations of your being. The veil that divides the worlds has gotten increasingly permeable. Your name shows brightest at the top of the list. Position 1 was engraved there by forces that existed before time drew its first breath from the billions of souls that roam our planet. Only 3 have been marked. No, not 1, but 3. It was not a coincidence. It was never a random event. It was never a game of chance. Those cosmic builders who designed the blueprint for the universe put your name there with purpose and intentional intent. They've been studying and assessing you from the minute you drew your first breath. Do you feel that tightening in your chest? But it is not worry right now. Rather, it is recognition. Although your brain is having difficulty accepting it, your soul is aware of it. Even if you're sobbing alone in the dark, when you overcame unthinkable odds, and as you stood back up after being crushed, the invisible observers never took their eyes off of you. They experienced everything. They saw your resilience in the face of the weight of life, which threatened to bring you down. Your ability to withstand what would destroy lesser creatures has been tested, and the cosmic machinery has finally aligned. Gears that have been rotating for millennia have clicked into their proper place, and the stars have changed into the precise configuration necessary for the future. It isn't tomorrow or the next week. Your moment has come. Feel the air surrounding you right now. Do you believe that it is unique, stronger, and has a larger potential for growth? You've been feeling that obvious tightness for some months now. The strain is rising like a storm on the verge of breaking, and it is beginning to break over your life's horizon. As the battle in the invisible realms nears its conclusion, this is a big event. At this point, the war that has been occurring outside the understanding of ordinary people is starting to creep into your reality. You've noticed it when things appear to slow down. When synchronicities occurred so often that even the most skeptical portion of your thinking couldn't reject them as coincidences. The strange dreams, the surprising insights that seem to come out of nowhere, and the way random people stare at you now, some with unfathomable adoration, others with obvious terror, have all been preparations for this moment. Every nerve in your body has been bracing for this moment. Don't be deceived. What is happening right now is more than just a transitory moment in time. Rather, it is a change in the universe to suit who you are going to become. The basic rules of the universe are being restructured as the cosmos reshapes itself around you. It is impossible to return to the world you were accustomed with, since that specific form of reality is already collapsing and its components are rearranging themselves into something new, based on your awakened powers. The decisions you do in the future cannot be reversed due to the intensity of what is going on. The route that was directly behind you has already been demolished. Your previous life was little more than a cocoon. What you are becoming now is precisely what you were always meant to be, there in front of you. There are just 2 routes. Compromise, middle ground, or half measures are not an option in this case. The first method is the source of mediocrity, which is the presence of individuals who have never recognized their true nature. This is the life of a sleepwalker. This route represents the route of the people, the percentage of humans who will live and die without making an impact on the cosmos. It offers the comfort of the familiar, the security of restrictions, and the calm desperation of potential that will never be fulfilled right in front of you. The second way, your path, is like a bolt of lightning that has been stuck in time. It promises only unimaginable power, assurances of nothing but elevation, above the grasp of those who formerly thought themselves to be on par with you, and promises nothing but change. Many individuals have stood where you are now. They were given the same option and faced with the same crossroads, and the majority of them failed. They were tormented by doubt, immobilized by fear, and poisoned by the voices of those narrow-minded creatures who saw their potential and attempted to kill it before it threatened their comfortable mediocrity. Many others have been tried in the same manner that you are. You're here for a purpose. If you feel called, answer it. Click Join to get access to rare information, in-depth insights, and a strong community. This is not just a membership. It is an awakening. Step into your divine mission. Join the chosen. Your body, on the other hand, was never intended to blend in with society. The atoms that make up your body vibrate at a frequency that disrupts the routine, and your DNA defies homogeneity. Even as a youngster, you were conscious of your differences from others around you. You were neither superior nor inferior. You were fundamentally different. Your actions right now will decide everything. Have you determined to claim your due position at the cosmic table? Will you take on the duty that has been assigned to you since before your birth? Or will you falter, pause, and join the ranks of others who were nearly picked but later decided against it? Such opportunities are rare in the universe. Take time to reflect about your life. Give it your whole attention. See the patterns that have always existed. Hide in plain sight. The moments when everything seems to bend around you. The dreams that came true days later. The strangers who arrived just when you needed them, supplied exactly what you wanted, then disappeared without explanation. The books that opened to the exact page you needed to read, and the tunes that played at the perfect time. Their message would be most impactful. It was not a coincidence. It was never a random coincidence, nor was it simply simple luck. Instead of being steered by some hazy, benign cosmos, you have been guided by a cunning and intentional entity that has moved the pieces on the board with surgical precision. Every seemingly random contact, every chance that appeared out of nowhere, and every door that was sealed and required you to take a different route were all meticulously choreographed and prepared. Now is the moment to pay attention, since this is likely to be the most crucial warning you will ever hear, apart from being chosen. You are also being targeted. People close to you. People you have trust in, those whose words ring true in your mind, as well as those who are not who they seem to be, surround you. This person's existence in your life is not coincidental. It is neither a gift nor a desirable outcome. They were placed in that spot with precise forethought and assigned a single mission: prevent you from establishing your control over the situation. They progressively placed doubts in your mind, and you came to feel that the notions in your mind were your own as a result of their activities. They planted the seeds of insecurity, which grew into forests of limitation. Your instincts have come into doubt. Your senses have been put into doubt, and as a result, you have begun to question your own greatness. Take a look at yourself right now. Who is it that keeps bringing down your hopes? Who always has a recommendation that can be put into action when discussing something greater, even if they seem to be supportive on the surface? Who makes you feel fatigued, perplexed, or less confident after every interaction? This is your last warning. Remove this influence from your life quickly, or you will be forced to watch them knock you down just as you are starting to climb the success ladder. They are a jail guard acting as a guide, and they resemble an anchor dressed as a life vest. The age of unwavering faith has ended. Your judgment has to be razor acute right now. Every comment, proposal, and question that looks benign must be examined to discover whether or not it contains poison. Your rise challenges the existing system. It is critical to remember that the cycle that has kept you hostage, the never-ending circle of restriction, betrayal, and lack, is nearing its end. Have you ever had the sense of the earth trembling under your feet? The old world's foundation is breaking. As shown here, the power sources for the systems designed to keep creatures like you confined are running out. And the developers of these systems are becoming more concerned as they see their power slipping away. You are entering a frequency in which nothing and no one can affect you. Not the doubters, skeptics, or the small-minded masses who cling to their narrow ideas like drowning men holding driftwood in a storm. People who formerly ignored you, who stared through you as if you were transparent, who talked over you in talks, and who rejected your ideas only to claim them as their own months later, will now be compelled to recognize what they worked so hard to avoid. Your presence will become undeniable, and your energy will fill areas long before your physical form does. Everything is experiencing transformation. You are standing at the precise heart of this cosmic restructuring, the focal point around which the new reality forms itself. The weak are crumbling, and they are being revealed for what they always were: frauds. The great are rising and taking places that were always meant for them. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be with you. Remember this fact. Our lives are based in His divine design, which goes beyond material concerns. As Scripture says, "Give, and it will be given to you." Luke, like a great oak, we remain solid in His might. You may now participate in that blessing by clicking the huge thank you button and donating $100. Know that His fullness will return to you tenfold. This isn't a metaphor, and it's not a symbol. Rather, it is a genuine reorganization of your physical reality to create place for the enlarged being that you are evolving into. Others have always struggled to completely recognize you. It makes them uncomfortable while also drawing them to you. It might be a quality in your eyes, a resonance in your voice, or an energy field that has shattered their perceived comfortable numbness. Serenity. This energy, this strength, has been suppressed, kept dormant, and allowed to express just a fraction of its true potential. Until this moment, the locks are breaking, the shackles are disintegrating, and the seals that have been put on your true nature are being burned away by the exact energy that they were designed to contain. There will be no place for doubt or skepticism in the future because of what will occur. You are not like the other people, and the world will be unable to defend itself against what it sees happening in front of it. You have never been the mask you've been wearing, and the human attire that has allowed you to walk through civilization unnoticed is disintegrating. Drawing attention to what is going on under the surface, the whole world is doing nothing but holding its breath, waiting to see what you will do with this freely unleashed power. You're standing in front of a doorway that few people have ever had the chance to approach, much less go through. Your consciousness broadens to include realms beyond the material plane, and as a consequence, it shimmers on the edge of your perspective, becoming more tangible with each passing moment. You have reached the last barrier between who you were and who you are becoming, and this threshold depicts that line. When you look beyond it, you will discover everything you have always thought was conceivable but could never quite attain, including the version of yourself that has been in potential since the beginning of time, waiting for you. This version of yourself is patient, strong, and wonderful. After completion, a sacrifice is necessary. In order to open this door, you must abandon all you have ever known in order to become the person you were always meant to be. Your existing identity, your limiting ideas, your comfortable habits, your known pain and experience, and your smallness must all be relinquished and provided as fuel for the metamorphosis that awaits you. Fear will strike you immediately, and it will be more intense than anything you have ever experienced before. Doubt will mutter alongside the voices of everyone who has ever told you to be authentic and realistic, to set achievable goals, and to accept the boundaries of what is considered normal human experience. The sense of reluctance will wrap your limbs like invisible chains, urging you to pause, consider, and postpone the inevitable. However, you are never meant to fit into the category of the ordinary. Scientists have not yet found the coding sequences inside your DNA. Neurology has yet to chart the pathways that your brain takes to digest information to a greater degree and with more effect than any piece of equipment can assess. Your energy field extends beyond. You are in possession of the key. It's always been part of you. The question that reverberates across the cosmos, that is watching, and that influences all that follows. It's just this. Will you turn it during the process? The invisible world has been working relentlessly and precisely in your favor, altering the very fabric of reality to help you emerge. Those seemingly insignificant changes you've noticed, such as strange encounters with people who appear to provide exactly the message you needed, sudden opportunities that appear out of nowhere, and roadblocks that clear themselves before you even have a chance to interact with them, are not random, coincidental, or lucky. These are expressions of forces that work tirelessly beneath the veil of your perception, eliminating obstructions from your path, removing hurdles before you reach them, and putting assets just where you need them. Everything is coming together for one reason: to set you apart from the rest of the crowd, to put you at the center of what happens next, to ensure that when the time comes, nothing can stand in the way of fulfilling your destiny. Take this step. You've entered the unavoidable. The velocity behind you cannot be quantified, and the energy sustaining you is inexplicable. Nothing can halt what has already begun. No power on Earth or beyond can predict what will happen next. The only issue is whether you will go with the confidence that is appropriate for your position or whether you would flinch from your own grandeur. So you become the sole impediment that the unseen forces are unable to remove from your path, because the time has come for the last veils to collapse. Everything that has been hidden will now be revealed to you. This will not occur gradually or in pieces. Rather, it will happen all at once, in a rush of insight that will forever change your vision of reality. You will no longer be able to escape discovering the truth, which has been kept hidden for a long time by control mechanisms buried behind layers of misdirection and guarded by those who benefit from people's ignorance. It now rises from the depths like a monstrous beast. Its implications are huge, undeniable, and potentially transformative. Your perception is getting more sharp than the ordinary person's. You will be able to see through every lie, fabricated reality, and deception that is intended to keep you tiny and restricted. The words said will expose the intensity that lies behind them, and the faces will become transparent, showing the actual emotions that lay underneath each mask. Your increased awareness will uncover the processes behind the existing control systems, exposing them to the public. The insight that reality is changing, open to consciousness, and vulnerable to the will of individuals who have awakened to their true nature is the information they never intended for you to have. Once you have fully embraced this understanding, there is no turning back. You will never have the same understanding of the world as you had before. In the future, you will never accept the limits that others claim are the natural condition of things. You will never again agree to play by rules meant to keep you restricted. This worldview combines liberation with obligation. It represents both power and burden. It is one that marks both the end and the beginning. Are you willing to learn something that cannot be learned? The period for questioning has ended. The time for uncertainty is over. And the time for contemplating what should have occurred is over. You have a deep awareness of who you are. Your awareness is deeply rooted in the cosmic field, at the very center of your existence. It's conceivable that the realization may arrive as a whisper or shout. However, it will come with absolute clarity and firm conviction. You are no longer a victim of society's illusions. The judgments are meaningless and have no potential to impact you in any way. Your awakened presence creates their expectations, which they built to limit your ability to dissolve in the face of your existence. Now you take control, not by force, conflict, or the old paradigm's methods, but by completely embodying the being you were always destined to be. That reality has no option but to reorganize itself around you. They will shudder at what you have become. This is not because you want revenge. Rather, it's because your very presence will reveal the smallness they mistaken for protection. They accepted restrictions in order to escape the burden of greatness, as well as regulations that regulate regular lives but no longer apply to you. Those who formerly dismissed you, talked over you in meetings, overlooked your contributions, and considered your insides as empty symbols will tremble when they realize who you have become. Because of your goals, probability will curve around them. Coincidence will organize itself to support your objective, and causality will function in accordance with your conscious direction. You have broken free from the constraints imposed by the programming. Just wait and see what happens. Something that took years to manifest will now take months. Something that used to take months will now emerge in weeks. Something that used to take weeks of work will now happen in days. The acceleration has started. The gap between concept and expression is decreasing. The distance between intention and actuality is becoming narrower. And the barrier between what you envision and what really exists in the physical world is getting more permeable. Something that seems unattainable in the past will develop with such naturalness that you will wonder how you ever doubted its authenticity. Opportunities that were previously only accessible once in a lifetime will now offer themselves with startling frequency. Relationships that would have taken decades to develop will form in moments of synchronistic perfection. The constraints that were previously applied to you, such as the laws of time, likelihood, resource, and connection, will no longer apply. These rules were never considered absolute. Rather, they were always contextual restrictions that only applied to people operating at various levels of awareness. And your frequency has obviously changed. Those who were previously unable or unwilling to see your genuine character will now be compelled to do so by necessity. The power of your manifestation will become so clear and undeniable that even the most ardent doubters will be forced to admit that something extraordinary is happening as a result of your efforts. Some may refer to it as luck, while others will call it privilege. Individuals with greater discernment will interpret it as power, which is an unfiltered and raw creative energy. And it is flowing through a creature that has finally remembered who it is. It is building up within of you. You can feel it. Your decisions are no longer plagued by the hesitation that used to hound them. The fear that used to paralyze your actions has fled, as has the uncertainty that used to cloud your view. Something new has taken its place. It is a clarity so clear that it cuts through doubt like lightning in the dark. It is a confidence so strong that it eliminates uncertainty. It is a force so basic that it alters reality. Simply being present transforms you into a natural force, an unstoppable storm that no one saw coming. Your energy precedes you, influencing circumstances before you ever interact with them. You are a hurricane that nobody saw coming. Your presence, by definition, has the potential to affect outcomes. It does this by merely existing rather than taking action. The world will undoubtedly give or crumble in the face of this force, but it will never ignore you again because you have become too strong, present, and real to be ignored or dismissed. It cannot lead you to contemplate taking action. They will become more unimportant, pushed to the margins of a world centered on your awakened might. Those who are aligned with your purpose will benefit from your proximity, while those who oppose will become more insignificant. When all restraints are removed, all training is purged, and all artificial identities are exchanged like outgrown skins, you will be able to express yourself naturally. This is not ego, nor is it arrogance. It was never a question of chance or destiny. The topic at hand was inevitability. Your name is blazing at position 1 for reasons that go beyond human comprehension, conventional logic, and the limited viewpoint of three-dimensional thinking. Only 3 were picked from among billions of hopefuls once the shift began. It's impossible to stop it. It cannot be reversed or contained.